All right, so this is session 2 of 4 for Hearts of Wulin. This is a wushu hack for PBTA that we're trying out and figuring out how things are going on. And so, Pavel, you have a question about that misunderstandings move.
Yes.
So the intent of it is as you pointed out, that there is a common trope in these movies and series and so on that when they're traveling and like they go someplace to meet someone or to do something, they run into somebody and there's a misunderstanding and a fight breaks out between the two people. So this is to allow you, if we get like once per session, I put that as a limit on there so we're not doing it all the time. But essentially, in that situation, we would nominate someone as a lead character, and they could roll for this, and we would resolve that scene out to see, whether you become friends from it or whether there's enmity built up from it, that kind of thing. It's a very narrow situational move in some ways.
Okay.
And it's kind of an experiment. We'll see if it works.
Yeah, because I would like to call it out to this session. So how do you envision that the result of 7 to 9? The result is undecided before the fighting finished. It's very hard for me to understand.
Oh, okay. So I imagine that if we rolled a 7 to 9, I would say to you, okay, no one beats the other person, but how does it get settled? Does somebody intervene? Do you figure out that they're actually a friend? What's the thing that brings the fight to a finish without it being decided that one person or the other has won?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, who rolls? The PC or you?
Oh no, it's always the PC.
All right.
Yeah.
So basically, it should say that choose out PC and then they roll, because the way it's worded, it makes it seem like you roll. The PC that triggers it rolls or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can clarify the language. Yeah. That makes sense. Absolutely. Patrick, you had another question?
Yeah. Also, with that 7 to 9 talking about the result is undecided, is the second sentence of the 10 plus result, is that a definition of an undecided fight, or is that in addition to the undecided?
That is a 6- is what that is. That's on a miss.
No. The second sentence of the 10 plus. If the latter, they may blah blah blah. Is that a definition of what an undecided fight is, or is that an add-on to the 10 plus undecided fight?
That's an add-on to the 10 plus fight, and that's a really good catch there. Because I use that word in both sentences, it makes it unclear.
Okay.
So I need to reword that. Yeah. Sherry, question?
None.
Sherry doesn't read the rules, so
nope.
She just said,
if your system can't stand up to ignorance, it can't stand up from there.
My little secret is that I don't read the rules either. I just wing it.
Yeah. We go through. Somebody tells you what to roll, and it's all good. All right, so we are going to start here. And what I'd like to do is have everyone give us the 1-minute pitch on your character, and then we'll frame where we are, and we'll see where it goes from there. We have a couple of things on the table, and I'd like to give everybody a chance to kind of do call their own scenes, or we can move right away to the weirdness. We'll decide about that.
And you had also talked at the end of last time about highlighting entanglements, which I thought sounded like a really interesting mechanic.
Oh yeah, that's a good catch here. So one of the ideas is that each of you gets to pick the entanglement that you definitely want to see, on the table, that you want to interact with. It's the one that'll get you some extra XP if we touch on it this session. So I'll have you introduce yourselves, and then I'll have you pick the entanglement that you want to highlight. So Patrick, Renshu, who is the ambiguous, good guy, maybe a big bad guy. There's some question about that character at the center of a lot of the relationship map. Let's have you tell us about Renshu and which of these interactions you want to highlight, entanglements.
All right. Renshu has a very scholarly and restrained look and personality, which is her sort of intentional affectation to make up for, cover up the problems of her past, that being she's from the 100 Ghosts faction, which is a weird, individualistic, strange martial arts style assassin cult out there, which her family is a part of. She was raised in. She believed in their mission for a long time, but couldn't handle the actual realities of up close killing someone. So she's run away. She's not made any friends there amongst the 100 Ghosts, especially with her family. She's not really made much of friends anywhere else because she used to be 100 Ghosts and no one really pays attention to that used to be part. But we do have a couple of PCs here who have variously taken a liking to her or are willing to put off stabbing her, at least for today. She's come to this grand meeting, the washing of the hands ceremony. We've had some trouble in the streets with various and sundry people, and when she got back to her room, there was a hidden note saying that someone knew of a plot against me or something that was being done against me here. They wanted to meet me after the hand washing ceremony.
Excellent. And so there'd be a dun 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 musical score, and we do the flashback on that. Awesome. And of your entanglements, which one do you want to make sure we highlight today?
So I was thinking about it. We haven't seen anything from my family entanglements yet, but I think that's probably a future sessions highlight.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind some hints or omens of my family problems, but I think the one that I want to highlight this time is that I helped to hide away Dragon Nail Sage, a former 100 Ghost assassin, who's a threat to her, wanted by the Ox Pilgrim Escort Society. And she's on the NPC page, and my idea for her is that she's just the worst at hiding.
Okay, good. I'm glad you highlighted that one, since I made some notes on that. That's awesome.
Just her dress there, and I think her whole personality, she pays lip service at best to the idea of being in witness protection.
Absolutely. Okay, I love it, and that sounds great to me. Next, we have Kai Jin. Can you give us the pitch on your character?
Kaijin comes from a noble family, a family that is very high in position in Jade Brush Skull, our ambiguous faction. Kaijin is the second son, and assets, and it comes with all various perks. One of them is that my older brother wants me dead because he's a little bit jealous, and also my parents decided to send me out to a completely different master. So I studied under master that is not from Jade Brush School. By role I'm a student. I'm traveling because my master sent me to take a year off the school and travel around, see some world. And I totally envision Kaijin. He's wearing the part of his noble family can be seen because he's wearing silks and it's an expensive material. In a very formal occasion like today, it will be colorful, but not too colorful. He's up to the half of his head. He's bald, and then he has all the hair wrapped in a one long tail. Air tail.
Okay.
And my entanglement for today, I totally think this is the best. This is the very good moment to see my relationship with my brother. I will try to calm him down. We will see how it will work out. So we already know that Tang Jin, my brother, is here. So
excellent. Yes, we'll pull him on stage definitely today. Okay. Next, we have Danyu Zhao, wielder of the 7th Eagle's Talon.
All right. Danyu Zhao is a it comes from a village that was razed to the ground by the Blade Dogs, which is one of the nefarious evil factions. He took up a blade and is now sworn vengeance against the Blade Dogs. He works currently for the Ox Pilgrim Society. He is very his sword is very well known for being this weird thing that that should not work, but it does. So, and the relationship I want to highlight right now is I suspect Renshu of Evil, but Changzi believes in her because that seems to be a thing that will show up with the Dragon Nail Sage.
Absolutely. I like that very much.
And who is this Chang Si?
The boss, one of the bosses in the Ox Pilgrim Escort Society.
Cool.
Yeah, we've had him placed as a senior Ox Pilgrim person.
Mm-hmm.
And I put him in the NPC pictures too.
He's also the one in Ox Pilgrim that sort of believes in and vouches for Ren.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last but not least, Zenai, can you please tell us about yourself?
Zenai, or Janai, I always say Janai.
Janai.
She is the younger sister of the heir to her fighting style, which is called Fortuitous Winds. Her family is the one that teaches that. He will be the heir, but unfortunately, she was better at it than he was. But she truly believes in righteousness. She is, after all, a daughter of the Vile Wind cult. And so, because of family piety, she chose to, before the testing that she and her brother were supposed to go through in order to prove their mastery, she ran away so that her brother would be the sole one who passed the test and could be the heir, and there would be no humiliation to him because of her superior skills. And so now she's decided to launch a career as a Robin Hood type thief. And she will steal from the rich and help the poor, and everything will be lovely.
It's going to be perfect. Not a problem. And which one do you want to highlight today?
Here's the thing. I could triple down on the Red Sioux, but I really kind of think that this is an excellent time to look at the entanglement that, unbeknownst to me, my family has promised me to Kai Jin. But the woman that he doesn't realize has a crush on him, or who loves him, is trying to undermine me. Because we've got his family there, and we've got other family around due to this washing of hands. So
that sounds good to me. All right. So as we talked about last time, you had arrived at the household for the Star-Stealing Sage, one of the senior members of the Ox Pilgrim Escort Bureau, and that gentleman is retiring. You, of course, met his younger son when you extricated him from an incident at a wine shop in town, and you brought him back to sober up for the ceremony. His older brother, Ming, is to be the heir to his father's position within the Ox Pilgrim Escort Bureau. And so there is a grand hall, of course, open air. They have lots of various Wulin wandering around in here as essentially people are meeting and talking, and there's music and probably performers up on the stage. Star-Stealing Sage has not essentially made his entrance on the scene, but everybody else is sort of out in and amongst the crowd, and I believe that we sort of ended with you all kind of heading in to find and interact there on the stage. So, Janai, let's start with you. Look at this place. Look at these marks. Look at all of this, and you will look around, and you see, of course, Ox Pilgrim Escort Bureau. They have guards around, and you will see that the elder son Zeng is there, meeting with people, talking with people, and you can see that sort of at his elbow is Magistrate Gao. You can tell that Gao believes that this place, all of this is a ripe target for Silken Fox, and so he is on the scene to supervise security and make sure that damnable fox thief doesn't steal anything during this ceremony.
Oh, excellent.
So what do you do?
Well, I should, of course, head right over there, but first I scope out to see if his assistant is there, because he is a lovely creature. So, yes.
He is at the margins, wandering about. He's clearly on duty, checking things. He's checking doors, he's checking locks, he's looking up, he's assessing avenues of escape, all of that.
All right. Sue, I sort of watch him. He is lovely. He's just taking after Magistrate Gao so much. and then I'll sweep over to Magistrate Gao.
Zinai. How are you today?
I am surprised to see you here. This is a day of great fortuitousness. And she sort of leans in and says, "You don't suspect anything, do you?"
It is this kind of place that the fox would come to look around, to find a ripe target, someone here who might have brought jewelry or personal gifts to show off their various and sundry status. I mean, just look at the Moon Silver bureaucrat. I mean, he's wearing far too much jewelry, and he knows that the fox is out, and why would he bring such things here? But don't worry, you have nothing to worry about. We have set a trap.
Oh, she goes, "You are clever. A trap." Yes. And she goes, "With so many righteous people here, I would think that the fox would be on the run. But you are wise."
I would think so too. And congratulations to you.
Huh? Excuse me? She sort of says, I'm not certain of what you speak.
I had heard that you are engaged to be married.
Yes, of course. It has been months in the
arranging. I have you roll overcome?
Yes. Yes, Sherry and Janai. How about that?
Okay.
Sure.
Do we have a roll for party?
Yes. Let me see. It's in the middle of the basic moves thing.
Oh, right. Okay. Thank you.
And I think that for overcome, I will try. Let's see here. I will try my water. How about that?
Okay.
So I'm going to add 1.
Oh, and actually, this is inner conflict. Is actually what I'm thinking about.
Oh, yeah. Which is a different thing, but that's okay. So anyway, I rolled a 3. So adding 1 to that gives me a 4, and I don't know what inner conflict is going to do.
And you're shocked. Magistrate Gao has clearly, knows something about this, and I'm going to have you mark a condition. But what is the scene that you make here?
I make a scene? Oh no. Let's see here. I think. I think it's one of those classic ones that she's startled enough that she steps back, and she actually, though she never does this, she sets a sort of amazing domino effect of things starting to fall, like all of the gifts for the washing and, essentially, great decorative flower arrangements and things like that. They all start to fall, and essentially nothing actually makes it to the ground. I would say that she actually, if for anyone who's watching, actually sees her sort of in a panic fix all of that really fast, like very quickly. But she always tries to hide those skills.
And that's the thing. What's the condition that you mark?
That's a good question. I think since I chose water, does that harm my skill then?
Yes.
Is what it does? Okay, great. And I will take uncertain. She just can't believe this.
All right. And you will look over as you kind of catch that last little bit, and you see Su Wei watching you. And there's that look on his face like, wow, she's never shown quite that level of skill before. Why has she been hiding that?
Oh, no.
And that definitely registers with him that you have clearly been hiding your skill from him and from others.
And can I add something brief in there?
Sure.
So I think, like, as we were mingling through, Janai had run off to meet Magister there, and I think Ren was just catching up with her and was, like, coming up behind the conversation right when Magister Gao talked about the engagement, which, like, brings Ren up short. She turns very sharply to the side and continues going off another way, and I think she sort of interprets Genai's freak out there as like, no, Magister Gao, keep it secret. She thinks this is a secret that she's been holding on to.
Oh, that's an excellent reaction shot there. Very nice. So let's move over to our friend Danyu Zhao. You are here. Lots of Ox Pilgrim people are around and about. What's your usual thing? Are you comfortable in these kinds of situations? Uncomfortable?
Usually uncomfortable because there's a lot of people, but they're all righteous, so it should be fine. Should being the key word.
Okay.
I am going to keep an eye on Genai.
Okay.
Because I did swear to her brother that I would keep her safe. And so I guess I also see this freak out.
Yes. And she gets back together and herself composed, and people kind of move to wander, and you will realize that there's a woman kind of at your elbow. Right. Looks like she's a servant, and she will say, "Oh dear, was anything hurt?"
I don't think so.
Oh, you are Zhao, correct? The honorable hero?
I suppose, yes.
Is there some uncertainty?
Oh, no. There, I am Daniel Zhao, yes.
Oh, sorry. I it is not my place to interrupt an honorable person such as yourself. I will go. And she begins to back away.
Oh, don't. What was there something important that you needed to tell me?
And
or
she will
tell someone.
Look about, and she will say, and she kind of steps back and she goes, I came to tell you something that I had heard that I do not know if it is true or not, but it is a rumor that came through. One of my brothers passed through the southern province a year or so ago, and he heard a story the story of your village,
Yes.
but he had also heard something else.
What is it?
He'd heard that while the great hero Zhao had survived, that there was another who lived as well.
Tell me. Who survived?
A girl. Some say your sister.
Sister.
But the word that I had heard is that she had been taken in by another house.
Which house?
I should
Do you
not say
know?
its name here amongst all of these righteous clans.
It's not the Blade Dogs, right?
No.
Or the Holy Society?
No.
Ah. So it must be the ghosts.
She does this, and I'm sorry to have interrupted you.
It's fine. You continue to do your job well.
Oh, thank you. And she will move away.
All right.
You're a little startled by that. It's not necessarily one of your entanglements, so I don't think I want to hit you on that. But that's shocking news.
All right.
Let me cut to Ren Shu. You are kind of after that moment there with Janai. You'll turn around and you will see the Dragon Nail Sage.
Oh my! What's she look like
She's
doing?
Dressed as a maid, and it looks like she was just talking with Zhao.
I sort of stop up short where I was going. I stare sort of open mouthed at that before I get a hold of myself and very primly just circle back the other way around the crowd, sort of daintily stepping through the chaos caused by Janai there. Back way across, very much not looking at Danyu there before I work my way over to where Dragon Nail Sage has withdrawn to. And I think we're sort of in a...
Dumpling?
Yes. Thank you, dear. That looks wonderful. Perhaps you could show me some of the other refreshments that we have available here.
The table is laden with all sorts of goodness. Everything's delicious here.
What an unexpected bounty to find in such a solemn ceremony.
Yes, but it is the liveliest event of the season, and one not to be missed by anyone with any sort of interest in these things.
Do you not think these rice balls, they look like the flavor on them is so bold and garish and might stand out amongst this other ceremonial food?
Oh, no. Look at the rice balls. They blend in with all the other things. Everything here is beautiful. Who would look to choose a rice ball out of such a spread?
Yes, who indeed would want to cause any upset or turmoil amongst this, the great Ox Pilgrim escort society, the calmest and most supporting faction I can think of?
Yes, everything will remain calm, of course.
Do you not think perhaps there is something in the back that requires your attendance?
No, I don't think so. I'm going to have you roll inner conflict now.
Ren is just twitching at this point.
What's an inner conflict?
Essentially, It's the emotional stuff. When you're dealing with the emotional stuff, specifically from one of your entanglements, it's below comfort and support.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't seen that.
I think metal for control.
Okay.
Oh, jeez, that's a 5.
So mark your medal. And she will say, "Do not worry. Any tasks I have here are already completed."
Tasks?
And she will fade out into the crowd.
Tasks? Oh, I just standing there with like half a dumpling in my hand, looking back and forth through the crowd.
Yeah, she's not supposed to have any tasks. She's supposed to be, what's going on? Did you bring someone here into the heart of the Ox Pilgrim Escort Society? Did you put a viper in their bosom?
I did not bring anyone here. I left her in a very satisfying job, far away from the action.
And yet, she probably used the name of one of your friends or your name to get in here.
No,
you know that.
No. What if some of those Ox Pilgrim idiots find out about this? I mean, dear righteous friends.
And of course, as always, when you look up Metal Viper, looking at you.
Yeah, I think it's that back and forth between like Metal Viper staring and some of those Ox Pilgrim oafs from last session just sort of like leering from the other corner.
And we'll cut from you. Kaijin, you were stopped and you were speaking with some people, and then you saw the Zenai have a small incident. What do you want to do?
I think we see Kaijin like just mingling with the crowd, but he's actually like circling around wherever his brother is, and he's like eating here, drinking some wine over there. But all the time we see him like looking out, like who's his brother meeting, who's he talking with. Maybe we see him standing like just 2 meters behind him and just like back to back and just like how do you say it? A rabbit ear, just like trying to listen in. Yeah, I'm trying to because I imagine I tried to resolve the situation with my brother earlier and didn't succeed. So I think Kaijin is using this opportunity to find anything.
So that sounds like you're trying to study, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you want to roll with that?
Yeah, another question to like mechanics, because
sure,
I'd like to describe what I'm doing and what if I pick now, I don't know, an Earth, because which is like totally not what I did of that describe. How do you like choose stat? Because I do
it much like I do with Fate Accelerated. It's on your conscience as a player to make that choice. Of course, any roll on a particular stat is a risk. So if you were to do your good stat and fail, a condition would lock it out for a while. So it is a risk thing. I might ask you for additional details on how it fits, but generally I leave it to the players.
Cool. In this case, I'm going to all in risk it, and I'm going to roll water because it's awareness, and I think I described pretty much that this is how I was doing it.
Perfect.
Reroll selected. 7 + 2 is 9.
Okay. So you get 1 hold to spend on those questions. I can't remember if you have any moves that affect that as well.
Nope.
Okay. So what do you want to use that hold for?
Yeah, I want to ask about my brother, of course. what are his intentions here? What kind of political game is he playing? I probably see by the type of people he is meeting. Is he here like forging deals, or is he doing some backstage politics? Just like intentions, desires, motivations of my brother over here.
There are some other highly placed representatives of Jade Brush who are here, as well as he. And you will note that they avoid him. And you have the distinct sense that he has been maybe pushed down, and he's trying to use this opportunity to gain some prestige, to gain some face, to be regarded as someone important, and maybe impress the other people from Jade Brush who are here.
Well, now that I get this feeling, Kajin just like walks away from his brother and goes to meet one of the other Jade Brush representatives, who is as of yet unnamed, but we'll probably put a name to him.
Okay. Sure. Let's choose a name. Male or female?
Female, maybe.
Okay. Let's say Gang Jin.
Cool.
She's a more senior person in Jade Brush, sort of given to a kind of purity and sort of a severity of worship of the Buddha, and very much supporter of the temple, and she will bow when she sees you, and she will say, "I was not aware that you were to be here, Kaijin."
It's pleasure to see you, Gaijin, as well. Well, why wouldn't you expect me? After I know that I'm a second son to my father, but I'm also taking part in family matters. I regard our house still highly, even though I train somewhere else. But tell me, I've noticed. How is my brother doing? The heir to the Jade Brush School.
She pauses, and she says, "Your brother is only lately come into the mantle. Your father has given him more responsibility. And so he has been able to display his true nature for all concerned."
Then, if you don't mind me asking, why are you doing all the politics and not him?
Your brother is young and inexperienced in these things.
True.
There are some, and she leans close, who believe that perhaps you might have been a better choice.
That's very flattering to hear. It's very flattering to hear this.
If you decide to return to the fold more fully, please come and see me.
That's a very big decision. My brother is still the heir. However, as I said, I regard our house highly. Anything I can do to help while I'm here?
I will keep that in mind.
Very well. A pleasure to see you, as always.
She will nod, bow to you, and she does walk over to the other Jade Brush person. And they have a brief conversation. And of course, they look back at you, and then there's some more conversation there. Sound good?
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Janai, you are there. The master is there. You've kind of made a little bit of a scene. What do you want to do next?
Well, because inherently I'm required to flee the scene at this point, I think that I will do so. And that seems to make things, because she is quite shaken. And I don't think to some extent she even noticed that she had, how should we say, sort of revealed her skill in that sense. But anyone who can see her can see that she's sort of a little flummoxed, and she'll probably look around the party, hoping to find Renshu, but Renshu has disappeared oddly. And I figure that the first person that she'll catch in her sights is Kaijin, who he's like bowing to some people or something. So she'll sort of come up behind him and tap him on the elbow, and just
and
sort
there's
of.
a third person by you immediately.
Oh, who's the third person?
That would be Unfettered Horizon, Undefeated Horizon.
Oh, I don't even notice her. I don't know who she is.
Yeah, I totally imagine that as you are approaching, the Undefeated Horizon just comes and puts my hand through. No, the lady puts her hand through my elbow. So she just puts her hand through my elbow just as we were standing there.
Okay. So, and that's the thing, is I've sort of done the same thing on the other side. And so she's sort of standing there and she goes, I was wondering if you wanted to try some of the wine. Doesn't that sound lovely? And
Janai, I haven't seen you there. Undefeated Horizon, what a pleasure to meet you both. Yes, let's go and try some wine.
Here, try this one. Try this one. It's very good.
I take it from the cat from the Horizon, and I say, oh, thank you for bringing this to me. But and I will just like drop a name by some other like famous wine in this province. Like, I was wondering if you know someone who can provide us with this type of wine. I'm basically trying to make her go, but very politely, to asking her to do something.
Oh yes. I'm sure. I'll go check with the staff.
Thank you, Horizon. It's a pleasure.
And I'll sort of look around to see like who it was, and then I'll look up and say, Kaijin, she will take that glass of wine that Undefeated Horizon gave you, and she'll sort of drink it down. and she'll go, I was just wondering, and she sort of stops and she goes, usually when a family like decides to make arrangements for your marriage, aren't they supposed to tell you?
I think this is how it works.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted to check, that's all. So has your family made any arrangements?
Arrangements for me or for my brother?
I guess for well, you would know about yours, or would you only know about? And she sort of stops and goes, "They would have to tell you, wouldn't they?"
Yeah, I totally imagine that they would like call me in and reveal to me what they have planned, and I would be honored to accept their choice. But hasn't it worked for you? Are you suggesting your family has kept the secrets from you?
She takes another big sip of the wine and she goes, "That couldn't possibly be. They would have to tell me, right?" "Yes, thank you. That's correct. That must be it." And she goes, "Oh, that wine you were talking about? It has the little swan symbol on it, doesn't it? I saw some of that over there." And she'll lead you over to another table, because if there's anything Janai knows, it's plum wine. So
Yeah,
Perfect.
and as we are walking there, Kaijin like says it like very quietly, almost like to himself, but obviously so you can hear it. And he just says, "Well, I wonder what would happen if my brother would have lost his half mask. He would have to come to the open without this mask and with a face. I wonder what this will be like." And then we like get to the table with the wine.
Excellent. Let me cut to Zhao. You've heard this news, kind of a bit shaken there. What do you do? What are you doing?
Well, there's a party right now, so I can't really leave the party to hunt down my sister.
That's right.
All right. So I guess I'll look around for some familiar face. Namely, I guess Zenai and Kaijin.
And certainly you will see them arm in arm trotting over to the banquet table, drinking wine together in sort of look like a couple. Maybe you're not sure.
All right, I guess they found out, so I'm gonna walk over them and congratulate them. So I will walk over to them both and you found out, Zenai and Kaijin.
Pardon me, Daniel. What do you mean?
You two are engaged, right?
And
I think Jenna, I gotta go glunk. And she goes, "What? No!" She chases the wine. She chases the little cup that she's just dropped along the floor.
You also hear the shattering of a wine bottle behind you. And you see this young woman has brought this bottle with the swan mark on it, very excited, and she walks just to hear that, and she drops the wine bottle, and
all right, apologize for the bad timing. It just I thought you just found out. I guess I was right.
We see Kaijin like he's very confused right now. Maybe he like just he also like grabs a cup of this wine, drinks it, and says, "I'm sorry, Daniel. Maybe I haven't heard you properly. Where would you acquire such information? Could you please again?"
Fenai, Zen's brother, has told me that you two were engaged.
And I think that's it, is that at that point, Jenai is just standing up. She's caught the cup, and she hears her brother's name again, and it just flips right out of her hand again.
Let me ask you this, Daniel. How do you feel about this? I mean, these two have gotten together, and you have
that's an entanglement
affection.
I have. Yeah, I love Zenai, but they're engaged to Kaijin, so I'm barely holding it together.
Then let's have you roll.
Inner
and
conflict.
kind of reveal to them. You're trying to stay here. Roll your inner conflict here.
I'm gonna roll with Earth because stability. Let me roll both. That is a 9.
Okay. Do you want to flee the scene, like depart, or do you want to mark that a condition on your Earth?
I think I'm gonna flee because it's like, this is so confusing and I have no idea what the hell is going on. Apparently they just found out and this is so embarrassing.
What does it look like when you flee? How does it kind of crack you a little bit here?
So it's like, I just look like, what the actual hell? like around the scene, and I'm like, sure, I'm gonna go now. And I slowly walk away, and then and
faster steps as you get further away.
Yes, yeah.
You passed by this crying girl in the corner as you go on.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let me check in with Ren.
First, I wanted to ask if people thought this might be an interesting time to have a misunderstanding. I was thinking maybe as Danyu runs out, he runs into a Dragon Nail Sage again, and something sort of escalates.
Yeah, I want to hold off on that
Okay.
because that's for meeting strangers. Is the way I would hold.
Oh, okay, cool.
That one. I want to save that for one of those, I think.
Well, Ren doesn't have time for stupid Genai and her stupid engagement parties, and I'm not even thinking about that, so I don't know why you'd bring it up. But what I'm focused on is the important stuff here, which is that Dragon Nail Sage has been here doing tasks. And I wanted to ask you, Lowell, you said you had some notes about her. Did you have a strong impression of like a fighting style, or is that still open?
Oh, that's still open, yeah. What is her fighting style?
I think it's like acupuncture and strange toxins.
Okay.
Going with the sort of nail idea. So I think I'm like sort of frantically turning around a bunch of the plates on the table looking for something she might have left, and then like I remember about her style, and I just start rushing through the audience and sort of like peering over people looking for needles, like grabbing people and sort of turning them to the side, and I'm looking for what she was doing here.
All right, let's have you roll. I think that's going to be study, don't you?
Okay. Yeah. And let's see. I think this is definitely like speed and passion over something like focus or wisdom at the moment.
Sure.
So I'm going to go with fire. Oof. But that's an 8.
Okay, then you get one hold. What is it you want to know, or reveal, or whatnot?
So how does this reveal work? Is it like completely for us, the players, to declare something?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, then I'll go with reveal a detail. I think where I find the needles are on Changxi.
Okay.
I think as I'm working my way around, like I just see a little tiny flag of a needle sticking out somewhere on his skin.
Ren.
I
heard that I heard that some were rude to you earlier.
What? Yes, it's growing pains. Nothing that could. I mean, it's. You shouldn't. I just. If you.
No, you, Sister Ren, you are a sister to us. You are in our clan. If any speak ill against you, come to me, and I will. Sorry, a little bit of a cold.
That means so much to me to hear. I appreciate the trust and the place that you've given me. You know that I would never. Oh, what is that? A bug? I try and like smack a bug off his neck and pull the needle out with it.
Oh, that definitely seems like an overcome.
All right. As I'm talking about, the trust that he's placed in me and how I would never do anything to endanger them. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with fire.
Okay.
Oh, finally. That's a 12.
Okay, so pluck. You'll get that needle out of him. Oh, was it a wasp?
Oh yes, it must be from all of the food that they're gathering for the festival. They're drawn to the fruits. Yes. What were we talking? Trust. Yes, trust and how I have changed and I would. their suspicions are unfounded. I would never bring any harm knowingly to the Ox Pilgrim Society.
That I know that, and I have absolute trust in you. You are a useful member of our clan.
Thank you. That means much to me. Have you? Oh, you are looking a bit pale. Have you been to see a physician recently?
No, it was just this evening. I felt a little under the weather.
Let me maybe some nice hot tea would refresh you.
Oh, yes, that would be most excellent.
Let me go retrieve that for you. I think maybe I want to do a hidden dragon move.
Oh, okay.
And I think maybe as I'm making his tea, I have some various like tissue paper sort of things that are infused with different herbs. And so I let a couple of them dissolve in his cup. But that also might be a great opportunity for someone to see and misinterpret something.
That seems like the potential risk for that one. Let's have you roll.
So I think this does need to be something that's not quite so fiery. Let's go with Earth for focus and presence and, really paying attention like I've been doing this whole time.
All right.
Oh, that's 8 minus 1 is 7.
So some people do remark on it that they do note you bringing the tea. They maybe you spend a little more time on it, and so that's something that in testimony later will come back around there.
Testimony?
Just saying, should that occur. I actually think this is a nice thing. I'm going to let you. I think it's a good way to put a bond with him.
Okay.
I think between those two moves. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. People have seen you. They've noted if anything happens to him, that's who they're going to point to. But don't worry about that.
That surely won't come up.
There's a bit people have been waiting, and you will see that the Star Ceiling Sage's son Ming is called out, and he's been gone for a bit, and he returns, and he says, "Brothers and sisters, my father has asked a favor of all of you here. He has told me that he has a last matter to settle before he can retire, and he would ask that you remain here overnight so that tomorrow he may finish his ceremony and his retirement from the Wulin world. So he begs your indulgence in this, and I hope that you will stay, enjoy the festivities and the feasts, and we will have the ceremony tomorrow. Again, thank you for your indulgence." And he retreats off. You can see that Zhang is there, and he's been the household staff have been keeping him from drinking. But when he hears that, he's like, his hand is over, and somehow he's got a bottle of wine, and he's drinking that.
I'm gonna go up to Zhang, and ask him, what's going on?
he seems so quite distracted. He will say, "My father has told me that he has a matter that has come to his attention that he must settle before he can close out his business. It is his own mind." You definitely have the sense that saying maybe doesn't know the exact dimensions of this.
All right.
Just make sure that everyone is settled here.
All right. I will then go to Renshu actually and ask her about the paper
Okay.
to do the thing.
Right. So, Ren, you've kind of finished up. You've given the tea, and then, of course, there's Zhao. You know, Zhao's suspicious of you, but Chang Shi would go, Zhao, how are you today?
Wait, who?
Chang. Chang Shi,
yes.
This Chang. One who asked you to watch out and to trust Ren.
Yeah. Oh yes. I need to speak to Ren in private.
Oh, absolutely. Good friends. Brothers in arms, talking together. Excellent. Yes. I will leave you two to it then.
Yes.
Thank you so much for this tea. It is delicious.
Oh, I hope it leaves you feeling better.
I certainly feel invigorated already.
All right. So I'm gonna pull Ren to the side and I say, the letter. It said something about tonight. Do you think that's why Star Sailing Sage is holding off the ceremony?
And I think there's this moment of like Ren has absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Before she sort of yes, of course the letter. It's what else would be on my mind? The letter. Maybe. Do you think it's the sage himself who wants to talk to us? What would he want to have to say to us?
I do not know, but we should go to the temple, right?
Yes, just the two of us. Oh, well, all right. Yes, just the two of us.
Which is brother, one more than the letter said to bring.
Brother Ox Pilgrims. Yes. Trust. That's what we're doing. So we should go together away from here.
Yes.
So you two wish to head out and head to the temple for this meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if Zenai and Kaijin watch us going, then I guess they can come along.
So that's of course the good scene is you two are kind of still shaken, but then you see Ren and Zhao head out.
They do not head out together often, so I guess you would know something is up.
Janai, I see that your questions earlier were not without reason. I assume I gave you false information, for which I'm deeply sorry. It would seem my family also has withheld the information from me.
I had no idea it was you. Wait. She goes, this seems coincidental. And she sort of turns around, looks around. She goes, the Wulin world is full of rumors. Maybe until our parents do tell us, we take this with a grain of salt. And she pours a little more wine and a glass of wine. And then as she's pouring, she sees them going. And she goes, and there they go. What do you suppose they're up to?
I'm sure they are able to take care of themselves. And I will take your hand, maybe like with the glass of wine, and like between my hands. And I would say, if the rumor is true, Janai, I'm really honored that my family has chosen, has trusted me to be your husband, and I'm pretty sure we can get through it together. I will try to confirm it with my family, and I will get back to you on this.
Okay, and just kind of going, like she's completely overwhelmed. So, all right, but we should follow them. So,
I should go talk with my brother. I'm pretty sure that two of them can handle themselves. And I was sort of trying to hit the support move again.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Do you feel like it? Do you feel I did enough to trigger the move?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh my god! Again, I'm moving the view up. Cool. Sherry, do you feel like this was like comforting enough?
it was because essentially it it's like someone understands what's going on. She doesn't feel like she does. So yes, it was comforting.
Cool. I think I'm going to roll it with fire because there's passion.
Excellent.
What is passion? Yeah, let's roll with fire. Reroll selected. And it's a fail.
So I actually think that you probably kind of crack a little bit at the end there, because you realize that if you were to be married, you'll never be able to declare your love for Ren. That's the end of that. I mean, you might not ever see her again if that happened. And I think I'm going to have you mark. You rolled with fire. I think that is appropriate. That your passion harms you there. Does that seem right?
Yeah, definitely. So I think I'm going to hit to mark condition this like unfocused, not sure, alienating, because definitely I don't plan to go with the team. So I think I'm going to mark alienating.
Perfect. And then Janai, what do you do? He's clearly he's sort of startled and going to talk to his brother, kind of pushes you away. What do you want to do?
I think she's sort of looking back over the three of them, and though she'll kind of trail after him, she is sort of tugging at his elbow to go with them, if that makes any sense. There's a sort of real, it's not that she doesn't support him or trust him, it's that she's sort of got Ren and Daniu as her star as opposed to him when maybe, does that make any sense?
Yeah. But he seems to have pushed you away.
Okay. Then if left to her own, she'll trail after them.
Okay. So it will take you to a bit to get out of this party, to extricate yourselves, you two, and you will. If other people are dispersing, of course, now that they know that the ceremony is not going on, they're retiring to chambers and all of that kind of thing, and so you will make your way through the courtyard of the estate to essentially the family shrine temple at the back of the estate, and you will head there. In a movie, we see Janai, moving from corner to corner quietly behind you. Using her light foot to follow. And Patrick, I think you're the lead character in this scene.
Okay.
So could I have you roll heedless?
But why? This is a perfectly safe clandestine meeting. So let's see.
I think he's not alone in too dangerous situation, because
there's like 2 other people with him.
yeah, the trigger sort of doesn't match, because it's already he knows it's already a bit fishy,
Okay, that seems fair to me.
and not alone.
Yeah.
That seems fair to me. You will Ren. You will head into the temple with Dainu beside you. It's sort of dimly lit, and you can see that there is someone seated and praying at the shrine. The incense is lit.
So I think, in the process of like extricating ourselves and walking across the way here, I think Ren has gotten some more of a hold of herself. This is sort of fortified into like she's fed up. This has been a frustrating day full of secrets and lies, and I think as she comes up, she sort of flops down in a kneel next to this guy, pulls out the note and sort of twists it instantly into like this sort of incense stick sort of twist, puts it on the flame, lights it, and sticks it burning there in the sand next to the other incense sticks, saying, "I grow tired of secret meetings and clandestine messages. Don't you think it's time for us to move past this sort of thing?" As I turn to look at whoever's there.
It's Zhang, the first son.
Wait,
And-
Zhang or Ming?
Oh, sorry, Ming, the first son.
Okay. All right.
And he is sitting there kind of looking straight ahead. As his corpse falls face down onto the temple. We'll take our 5-minute break at that point. And,
Oh my god.
That was amazing.
Is it okay if I have a little snack on the side? All right. Oh, so everyone's having breakfast anyway, so whatever.
For me, it's almost like a dinner because it's like 5 p.m. for me.
All right, you're where?
Europe,
Which part though?
Poland, the central part.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
cool.
That was exactly not what I was expecting there.
Oh,
it was
really?
amazing.
It was really nice that you said all those things that you are tired of condensed time meetings, and then bam.
Yes, it's a great line to have that happen on. When Sherry comes back, then we'll check and see.
Oh, I'm back. I'm sorry. I just didn't I didn't realize I hadn't turned my camera back on.
So, positionally, right now, Zhao, you're kind of standing, kind of watching, and you will see that Ren has sat to speak, and this figure slumps forward onto the altar.
All right, I will try to figure out what's going on, and like draw my sword and like look around to see if there's anything in the area.
Why don't you make a study roll for me?
That makes sense. What do I want to study with? Water.
Sure.
And that is a 5.
That is a 5. So you kind of start to look around, and you hear people running, coming this way. Like people have been calling here, and it sounds like there's a troop of guards coming this way. Let me check in with Ren, and then I'm going to check with Janai. Okay. Ren, what do you do?
So I think he sort of slumps over to the side into my arms, and I catch him.
There are guards coming.
Yeah. I don't think I have time. No. I think there is there's several open windows in the shrine.
Okay.
And this convenient like burst of wind comes through sort of from the outside. It blows through all these like silks and hanging tapestries here in the shrine. Oh, good Lord, my background music just got very loud. Give me a sec.
Okay.
Oh, that was shocking. Comes blowing through, and I think as Danu is sort of getting up to maybe approach, there's this flutter of paper around the two of them. It sort of billows out into a storm, and I'm going to use my whatever step to Storm Rider move to grab Ming and just sort of fly out one of the windows with this storm of paper off into the evening.
Let's have you roll overcome.
All right. And we'll go with water for this. Eight.
So you will get out and fly out that window, but there are, as you fly out to escape, we do that, we see the motion of that. There are people there, guards that are coming that see you fly out the window.
And I think just as an added benefit for Danu's sake, they're in the midst of this like debris that's left behind. There's one of Ren's pieces of paper with that acupuncture needle that she'd taken off of Chang-Chi sort of pierced through it because it fell out in the chaos.
Excellent. Janai, we kind of come up behind you at the door, kind of peeking in. You see Slump, stand. Oh my God, take off. Guards coming.
So the shrine has a door, right? I mean, has a big door?
Yep.
Okay. So I think she slips through, closes the door, drops the bar from the inside, grabs Daniu, and...
Oh, no, they're gone.
Oh, they're both gone. Okay.
Yes.
I thought she took Ming. Ren took Ming.
Oh, I
grabbed.
I apologize. I misunderstood that. Yeah. So she takes the corpse of Ming and out. So what they saw outside was her taking off with Ming.
Which is even worse.
Yes. so door slam bar.
Yeah. Door slam bar, and essentially, I'm like. She sort of closes the door behind her and she goes, I haven't thought of what comes next.
Wait, you're here?
What? And she goes, and essentially looks off to the side. Is there anywhere that they can escape that will take them in a different, different path than where Ren went?
You tell me.
Yes.
Right.
There is. Let's see here. I think that there is. So she will run to that window and sort of jump through it and look back for Daniu for him to follow her.
Yeah, I guess I'll catch the piece of paper and the needle and I'll grab it, pocket it, and follow Zenai.
Okay.
I do want an overcome here.
No.
All right. From who?
I think we'll just have Sherry do the overcome on this.
Okay.
For both of you. And then I'm going to cut back to Kai Jin.
Okay, and I'll use my wind and hopefully roll well. Yeah, so that's a 13.
Oh, yeah. So you two are gone. Like the wind. You know, there's the guards are pounding at the doors there. We'll cut back to Kai Jin. You said you wanted to speak to your brother?
Yes, I totally imagine that this is like cut from like a hot escape scene. I'm not sure if it's still the party. Maybe let's move it. I think it's me and my brother in his quarters. Yeah, I probably come to visit him. He probably wouldn't come to talk to me. So it's probably like me and my brother in his quarters.
He's seated. One of the household servants is there to pour tea.
Might this be a moment for Heedless?
No, I think he has some things he wants here. And unless you think you want to roll with that, what do you think, Pavel? I think he knows there's danger.
I don't really.
It's up to you.
I think it would be cool that this is the way we meet. It's sort of like we we get into his quarters, and we first have to fight before where nobody's looking. So
Okay.
I think it's like totally cool.
All right. Do you want to resolve this as a duel, or do you want to resolve this with Heedless? What would you prefer?
Oh,
he's your scale, so.
Oh my. I thought we were talking about misunderstandings and not Heedless. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought this was a suggestion for misunderstanding.
So this is a misunderstanding is when you meet a stranger.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would do. We could do this either with Heedless, or we could do this just as a simple duel with you. You know, the scene of when you two come in and you and your brother cross swords.
I think it depends from your agenda towards my brother, because I totally expected that a duel would mean that this is like a part of a meeting that we have to like first duel. Heedless would announce that there is something else my brother there have done, because I'm totally expecting the king team that we'll have to fight. So I guess you choose.
Let's do it. He's your scale. Let's do the duel. You know, and we get that scene where you come in, and there's probably that moment where you look at each other, and then the attacks come out. Both of you trying to be super quiet to not raise an alarm here.
Yeah. Although I totally expect this is not like weapon fight. I totally expect this to be like a just hand to hand and just occasionally grabbing, falling plate. It's like all this like hand gestures, fighting, tiger claw, some bird hands, whatever. Just like
the lantern gets used as a weapon. All of that.
Yeah. It's totally we are like running. We are like I'm on one side of a column and he's on the other one, and just like punches coming from around the columns. I mean, this cool. So you want me to roll my style? Yes.
Yes.
Tick. We roll. Oh, it's a 13.
Okay. If you're the clear winner, do you essentially show him mercy there?
You win the conflict and mark XP. If you show mercy, additional. Yeah, I think because I'm coming here with like a peaceful intentions, I feel there's a moment where I see I could win, like deliver the punch that will break through his defense. But I suppose I don't take this punch. I don't make this punch, and instead maybe after we fight for some more time. It depends how do you wanna show mercy, because it doesn't mean that
I like the idea that you kind of go to do that move and he realizes that you could do that and you don't, and he will stop and he'll kind of brush himself off, adjust his mask. He seems impressed, and he will gesture to you to sit.
Yeah, it's probably like when I'm moving my long cape to just sit on a chair, and like the entire atmosphere is like now different. Now we are just talking instead of bashing each other.
It's been some time since we played.
It was some time. I was away training with my master, and I'm afraid I might have missed some things happening at home. Would you happen to have some message to me from Father?
Ooh. I think I want you to roll Hearts and Minds, because I think you're kind of putting some pressure on him. And I think from this previous moment, I'm going to give you +1 forward on it. Does that seem cool?
Okay. Let's have a stat specified. No, I also choose a stat here, yes?
Yeah, you choose a stat there. The only one I think that's specified is the duel.
Yeah, I think we are going to go with Earth with my weakest stat, because it's about how well am I like right now focused. I'm tired after the fight, and I'm also shocked by this news about the engagement. So it will be -1 + 1, a flat 0 roll.
Okay.
And it's how much do I remain at composure, and presence focus. Yeah, reroll. It's a 9.
Okay. I think, given what we do, I think they are going to reveal themselves. They get to choose on the 7 and 9. So I think revealing themselves makes sense in the context of this. So I think your first question is about the marriage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he will say, yes. While I have not been, no marriage has been arranged yet for me. And he touches his mask, as if to say there are reasons. I understand that mother and father spoke with the family of Janai to make the arrangements, though I'm not sure if that is entirely settled, but I know that it is in the cards, and rumors have certainly gotten out.
Yes, it's very sad to learn about such things, and not from my father himself, but from a rumor. I've spoken with. Oh my God, what was her name? Genxin?
Genji. Yeah.
Genji. I've spoken with Genji. It seems you are doing well on learning the house politics, but I've still seen Genji doing, I believe, too much of a business instead of you doing. Anyway, I can influence some situation over here to be more in our family favor.
Interesting.
I'm basically asking, how can I help him?
He is reluctant, and you will get from his sort of roundabout conversation. He talks about it obliquely, doesn't talk about it directly, but very clearly he came in very strong, very, I'm going to take charge. And the senior persons essentially regarded him as an upstart, and arrogant. Of course, he doesn't say any of this directly, but he is attempting to mend bridges. He knows that there are some who would prefer you to be in charge, and his request is that if they ask, that you decline, and decline very actively. That's how you can help him, is not giving them any leverage to put him in a bad position.
Does he mean decline because Genjin wanted to talk to me and also something, so he wants me to decline?
If they come and say to you, perhaps it would be better if you were in charge, that you would say, no, that will never happen. If you hesitate at all, you give them reason to think that I am weak. that our house is weak.
Yes, I suppose that this is probably like toward the end of the conversation. The teacup is like empty, and I just like stand, make sure that my kimono is as proper. I will do so, brother. I hope it will heal our relationship long time.
And of course, because time doesn't sync up at all in these movies, it's at that point that you will hear the sound of guards running and shouting.
Mm-hmm.
And we cut back to Ren. You've got a corpse with you.
Yeah, I'm riding out that window and up a storm to like the top of the tallest tower in the area.
On the roofs! On the roofs! She has Master's Ming!
And once I get up there, I lay him down. I'm gonna first check, like, is this coma territory, or is he just like X's over the eyes?
He is X's over the eyes.
Give sort of a choking gasp, and then I go to work looking for the needle that I know has to be there somewhere.
Ah, interesting. Let's have you roll study here. Kind of risk and chance, because you have to stop and look at it. You know, people are shouting. There are lots of Wulin heroes here.
And this is gonna be my water again. Awareness.
All right.
9, 10, 11.
Oh, look at that. You get 2 hold.
Basic moves. Yeah, I'm actually curious on this one, so I'll ask a question. Do I find a needle, or is there some other cause of death?
You do find a needle, but it looks. I mean, it's there. It looks like it's what killed him. Classic acupuncture stuff, poison clan, you know, all that stuff. But you know enough to know that a skilled person like yourself, or even the Dragon Nail Sage, that's not where you would have done that. And you suspect that somebody has done this to cover over and to frame you. Not Dragon Nail Sage, because she would have done it better.
And she would have been like coyly hinting at it when we met, because she just can't help herself.
What's your second question?
I'm going to go with sort of a mixed reveal of detail as
Sure.
I'm searching through him, and I do find evidence or note or whatever he was wanting to talk to me about. Maybe it's not the full picture that he could have explained, but sort of like an indication of what this meeting was to be about.
And it is a report that is clearly coded. Like, it doesn't give actual names, but it says, as you requested, we have confirmed that the target has been speaking with a member of the 100 Ghost faction, and may in fact be intimate with them. And you know, it signed their agent like a Blue Heron, clearly a code name. So clearly Ming had been watching someone and believed that they were associated, or probably from one of your, probably from Ox Pilgrim, was associated with the 100 Ghosts. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then the only other question I have is, who's the first one that finds me up on the roof?
Well, let's cut to our our other two companions. So you two have rushed out. You can hear the sounds of them, taking axes to break into the temple, and then the sound of she's got Brother Ming. Oh, and shouts. What do we see of you two when we come back to Zanai and Danyu?
I think that what you see with Zanai is as soon as she gets out and free, she's running back trying to find the person who was directing the guards here. Essentially, who raised the hue and cry, who is the one that's watching what's happening. That sort of thing.
Let's have you make a study roll, and then I'm going to check in with you, Danyu.
And then study, I'm sorry, do I choose a thing for that?
Yeah, always for that, choose a stat, and then we roll.
Alrighty. Sorry about that, guys. So many things. So I'm going to choose, let's see here. I'll choose. I'm going to choose metal because reflection, sort of remembering that someone had to set this going.
Okay.
I got a 10 plus a 1, so that's 11.
You've got 2 hold.
Okay. So who's the one that's trailing behind, looking satisfied that they've set something up here?
I will say the one that seems to be kind of doing this is Zhang. Like, he is at the back of this, and he is kind of following along, though you have the sense maybe he doesn't know what he's going to find. But then he hears that his brother has been taken by someone, and he's now shouting for the guards to search the compound, find his brother.
Does he look sincere in his concern for his brother? Because of course there is no. I mean, it's very clear.
Is that your other question?
Yes. Is his concern for his brother sincere?
No. He kind of does. He kind of hates his brother.
Okay.
But he had the sense that
he didn't know what was going on.
He doesn't know that his brother's dead.
Okay.
Does that sound like a reasonable set of information?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Danyu, you've kind of have popped out. You guys have gotten to a place of hiding. The guards are running around. What do you want to do?
I will try to find Renshu.
Okay.
Before the guards.
Okay. I think that's going to be a simple overcome to avoid, being spotted, sort of running around in an unusual way. Well, actually, you know what? You're a PC. This is Lightfoot. I'm going to say you can get to her. Which would you prefer?
Either.
Let's see.
I mean, we can just. The ladder sounds fine because
let's do the ladder because I'll reserve another roll for you for in a bit.
All right.
So I'll defer the overcome.
All right. So I will go up to Renshu and say
she's on a rooftop, kind of hidden away. There's the body of Ming with her.
All right.
Actually, when you get up there, there's sort of like on the rooftop, there's like a horizontal flagpole or like a promontory, a nice dramatic point that Ren can be standing out sort of in the middle of the air in this windstorm that's kicking up, and her hair is sort of blowing sideways.
What's going on? Oh God, he's dead. What's going on?
I knew that this place would be dangerous. I knew that people would come into strife here. This gathering, it was meant to be peaceful, and people are trying to tear it apart.
Do you know who?
I don't, but I do know that whoever it is, they're trying to trying to shift everyone's perceptions. They're trying to blame this on me or start something with the Ox Pilgrims. I don't know what. I don't expect you to believe me.
I know you didn't kill Ming. Can you give me some answers, at least?
Here, and she'll toss, and they're sort of glinting in the light and flipping through the air is that needle, which I think lands in the roof right at your feet. This is what they would frame me with. This is what they would have said that a skilled assassin would use. This trash, this violence, this crudeness.
Who fights like this? I pick up the needle.
Cowards. Cowards and people that don't believe that the future is worth having, that things can change and move forward.
Who specifically? I need names.
If I had names to give you, this wouldn't be so desperate. They're coming, Danu. I can hear them coming. You do what you see as right, but know that it warms my heart that you at least would give me a chance. I think at that point I want to do sort of a retroactive move.
Okay.
Or sort of reveal a move, my Hidden Dragon.
Okay.
I think this is sort of not actually me. This is sort of a puppet me that I'm running from the shadows, and it'll sort of fall apart as I run off into the night to go track down Dragon Nail Sage.
I like that. Is that cool with you, Danu?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll give that a roll.
And it turns to CG. Not the greatest CG in the world, but it changed.
Well,
CG.
Yeah.
Hidden Dragon has a net roll attached to it, so
Let's have you roll it.
All right. So I think that was creativity and speed to get that put together fast enough. So fire. And that's an 11. Yeah, as it starting from the head down where the hair was sort of whipping in the wind, it's like cracks appear in the skin, and it becomes revealed that this was all sort of a network of, I think they're origami butterflies that just sort of slowly waft off into the breeze and sort of swirl around as the sort of thin glinting wires that was holding it all together and controlling it fall away, and Ren sort of disappears into the night down the tower.
Dan, you're left there with the corpse of Ming.
I'm gonna bring it down because that's what people are concerned about. And then I'll try to explain that Ren wasn't the one who killed it.
So you will lightfoot down with this body in your arms. I think that's a good point to cut to Kai Jin. You will see then you coming down off the roof. The guards are running around, and he has Ming, the firstborn son, clearly dead in his arms.
Yeah, but I believe that before that we should retroactively roll inner conflict, because it was like a pretty big thing.
Oh yeah,
for Kaijin to swallow his pride in wanting to become the heir, and actually deciding to, will he help his brother or not. So I think there should be something to some role made over here. Yeah, I think this is definitely control. Is he able to control himself into talking himself into relieving this feeling behind him that he wants to be the heir, and actually trying to support his brother. So, and this is all when he was standing up and saying that he will help his brother. We'll see.
Sure.
So it will be +1. It's a 9. So what does a 9 on this one?
So you can kind of flee out from your brother's presence, kind of retreat, or you can mark a condition until you kind of make a change here.
Yeah, I think Kaijin makes like a decision that he wants to try to help his brother. So I'm marking sort of permanent condition in metal. I think, well,
So I think the trigger for clearing that will be to going to one of those Jade Brush people or someone else and saying no to them.
Yeah. So but I'm not sure which condition to write over here. What would be good? Flexible skirt. Okay, I will think about the emotion condition later because we right now cut the scene to me and Daniel Zhao, and
there are people coming running. Of course, there's Metal Viper and all the other people, and Chang Shi and the other named characters are coming running from all directions.
Yeah, I suppose I have to like make my way through the crowd to Daniel, trying to explain that this wasn't Renshu who did it, who did it, and I'm just standing there, maybe like in the first row and listening in, trying to learn because I skipped this entire part. What happened? Learning that Ming is dead, and yeah.
So Danu, no one here is susceptible to your words. They know about Ren. And you'll bring that down. But as you start talking, there is that thing where Magistrate Gao, who you've seen before, comes pushing through the crowd. And he goes, "No, everyone, stop. This is a matter. This is a matter for the law. Cannot have wild accusations, though the case does not look good. We will see to justice. We will investigate this. No one should act rashly." And Magistrate Gao will turn to you, and will turn to Kaijin, and will say, "Honorable gentlemen, will you take the body into these chambers here so that we might examine it?"
Yes.
Of course.
And he'll turn and he'll gesture. And Zhang is there, and he looks shocked that his brother is dead. And let's cut to you then, Sherry.
Well, that was my thing is that as soon as I discerned that Zhang didn't realize that, I would have climbed down so that I could show up at his elbow, and I would have said, "Zhang, who is it that told you to send the guards to the thing? Who told you?" Because they knew.
Ooh. I'm going to have you roll hearts and minds on him, and then I want to kind of move to the magistrate here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. No.
All right.
That's a good move.
All right, hearts and minds, and I'm going to use water just because that seems like the right one. 3 plus an 8. So I don't know what that does.
You're going to gain a bond with him.
Okay.
Essentially, you see him startle when you ask him that question, and he moves away from you in that way that he knows. I mean, he's wary of you now. Like you've got some leverage on him, but he won't tell you.
And so before I go, I say, they've put all of the people who aided you yesterday at the scene of the crime. It's to take any honor that you have in this moment away. And she steps away into the shadow.
Okay. Magistrate Gao will and his assistant kind of set the body here, and he will turn to you and he will say, "Swordsman Danyu, tell me what you saw."
I was with Renshu the entire time. We were we were going to the temple for a walk, and then when we entered, we saw Ming, and then he collapsed, and he was dead.
Did you see anyone else there?
No, I did not.
And his assistant goes, you were taking a walk?
Someone had told someone had sent Renshu to that location, and I was going with her to accompany her to make sure she did not do anything wrong or nefarious.
Who called her to that spot?
I do not know. It was a letter.
Do you have the letter?
I do not. She has it.
The magistrate goes, well, that's convenient. No, it's not an accusation. I just saying. And you, Kaijin, did you see anything?
Nope. I just came over here and learned that there's some things happening.
And his assistant goes, where is Zanai? Have you seen her, Janai? He seems vaguely suspicious when he asks this question.
No, I have not. Oh, wait. Yes, she came with. She somehow snuck in and helped me get out without the guards without the guards. Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You didn't see anyone, but then Janai was somehow on the scene.
She came in from behind us.
Go on. And then she helped you and her escape.
Yes.
And Magistrate Gillis goes, this is foolish. This is a foolish line of inquiry. We will look to the body. There's no way that Janai is involved in any of these foolishness. And his sister goes, as you say, Master, as you say. But there's that suspicious look in his eye as he observes you two. And Magistrate Gal will say, you two are excused. Be cautious who you speak to of these matters. I'm going to leave my assistant here with the body. I must go and inform Star-Stealing Sage of this death. And I trust you two to be discreet and cautious. Your friend Ren is likely to be pursued by all hands from the Wulin world.
Magister, I believe that that we should take action to prevent such a thing happening. It was clearly a setup from what I hear over here to put Renshu to some bad name toward Renshu. Isn't she a member of the Ox Pilgrim for some time now? She clearly earned her respect. I believe this is just a framing, and we should keep our eyes open toward the true culprit.
You are right. And I think that as it stands now, Renshu is in grave danger from any who wish to pursue her for vengeance, or, if what you say is correct, the true killer. You two, you must go and capture Renshu and bring her back for her own safety.
Very well.
I will trust this task to you. Don't take Janai with you. She's a delicate thing. I don't want her put in harm's way.
I wasn't planning on it.
Fair enough. Good. Let me cut to Janai. Where do you want to be? I just want to get a framing of you, and then I want to cut back to Ren.
Well, I think that the thing is that Zhang is not a particularly clever or socially smart person. So she's going to follow after him because she knows that he will give the tell about who it was that spoke to him. when next he runs into that person, or will go looking for them.
Okay.
So if she can just hang at the edges and see who he's reacting to, that should give her information.
Okay. So we'll come back to you on a study move on that as you sneak and try and follow. There are angry voices being raised against Ren. Metal Viper is there. I told you. And Chang, she's like, no, stop. No, she's too. We cannot act. It's your fault that he's dead. There's lots of arguments going on there. Factions breaking out there. Ren, let's cut back to you. Where do we see you now?
So basically I'm like skulking through the rooftops and the shadows. I'm trying to hunt down Dragon Nail Sage, and I'm sort of this mixture of anger at this point because like her being here blatantly showing herself is obviously how whoever set this up got it in on me. Like she's here as perfect evidence of my betrayal, and I'm angry because I'm still worried that she might have been a part of this somehow, and there's that stuff with Chang-Si. But I'm also worried because, like, if someone is trying to pin her as the assassin or the weak link, she's going to be the next most likely target.
Yes, especially since, as you say, you burnt the only piece of exonerating evidence in the incense thing before you found the corpse.
It was a really dramatic moment.
So right now, I think you want to find her while you're being hunted.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the simple way to do this is going to be overcome.
All right. And I think that's definitely going to be water. That's an 8, 9, 10.
9, 10. So you will be able to locate Dragon Nail Sage. You will arrive at the sort of the hollow, the sort of the rooms that you arrange for her, and you will see that she is frantically packing her bags.
Going somewhere?
Yes, away from here.
Realize that a life of hiding may have been a wise choice?
Someone is they're going to blame us.
No, they're going to kill you and blame me.
Well, I'm not good with that either. So killing me, not on my menu today. But I mean, they're going to clear the evidence up. I mean, you've got to go. You've got to go back to the 100 Ghosts.
No, that's not where you're. And I'm gonna like grab her bag away from her. That is not where you're going.
Look. I was sent here to watch you. I was sent here by your mother. But I am not going to take the fall for the murder of the heir to the Ox Pilgrim Escort Society. There's no way that's happening.
Wow. I don't know if that's inner conflict or like take a powerful blow. That was fucked.
Yeah, I think that's inner conflict for that, actually.
I think it's probably Earth. Stability and focus. Like this is Dragon Nail Sage is the sort of stand-in for Rin Shu. It's the externalization of all of her sort of redemption issues.
And it's all a lie.
And
From your mother.
And
What'd
it's
you
a
get?
6. A 6.
She goes, listen, you have got to... Staggers forward, grabs onto you.
No. This is not how it was supposed to be.
Your mother still loves you.
Oh,
and she slides down, and
motherfucker.
You're startled. You suddenly realize you felt this powerful blow, this chi blow that clearly struck her, from behind outside, and you're like just staggered, and she's dying in your arms.
Yeah, I lay her down and say, this did not have to be. Your redemption could have been true.
It might have been, but I have to tell you something. What I told Dainu was true. One of our brothers has raised his sister, in the clan. You must, if you couldn't save me, you must save her.
I will do this. I will do this for you, and I will do this for Dainu. And I think as I lay her down, and she sort of kiss her once on each eyelid, very calmly and quietly as I stand up, and then just this look of fury and rage comes over my face, and there's a long, slow draw out from one of the sleeves of a folded origami paper katana that comes out, and she just, like, bloodlust in her eyes, is heading back out.
Okay, perfect. Let's cut to you, Janai. And then we're going to cut back to the pair who've been assigned to hunt down Ren.
Okay. All right, then. So essentially, I watch Zhang. I watch where his eyes dart when they dart. Essentially, I do trail them to see
Let's
who
have
they're
you roll
looking
study.
for. Okay, and I get a +1 on this because it is a high society situation, I believe.
And you have +1. You can burn a bond with him after you roll, too.
Okay. All right. So that would be great. If only I could find the dice roller. Here we go. Okay. So I am rolling. So I rolled an 11. So that gives me a 13.
Okay. So you have 2 hold. What is your question?
Who is it? Yeah, I mean, essentially, it's who is he?
He goes back. He grabs wine to steady himself, and you will see he goes and he heads to speak to his father, Star-Stealing Sage.
All right, then. And I guess I'm going to follow, and I'll keep that hold for when I see what happens. Does that make any sense?
Sure. And to answer Patrick's question, now you don't have to mark the condition. The hard move was killing your friend. That's a pretty hard move. So you follow him back. He goes in. The servants are in disarray, and you see that he clearly wants to talk to his father, but he's also hesitant. And there's some pressure going on with that. So he's told that his father is indisposed for the moment, but will be ready soon to speak with his son.
Great. Where's his father at? Because he's clearly not in that room.
His father, you hear that, the sound to you, the telltale sound that you well recognize of someone coming back into a room through a hidden door.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So he's clearly been out and about and has only just returned.
Right. Okay, then I guess I will do the thiefy thing, and I will go behind the house to find where the footprints come out at a non-routine place.
Okay, well, we'll have to come back to you in a second. So, Danyu, Kaijin, you have been assigned to bring back Ren.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that?
First, so I know she's not going straight to her room. I don't know. Do we have any leads other than?
Can we, for good fiction, say that we actually maybe followed the person who killed Dragon Nail? We weren't there fast enough to prevent it, but we are just.
I'm going to hold off on that. Your objective here is something slightly different to do that. It might be a success on this thing, but I think right now I kind of want the fiction for how you find her.
I think just trying to figure out how she, like, from knowing how Renshu operates, I want to figure out, like, where would she be next? Like, who does she talk to, or who does she interact with most?
Okay. So I think this is going to be a study move.
Okay.
You're going to find her regardless, but it's merely a question of if you fail, that there might be some fallout from it, and it'll also give you a chance to maybe ask some other questions. Does that seem fair way to handle that?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I will want to do. I want to use fire.
Okay.
Because I want to do this quickly.
That makes sense.
And that is a 6.
That is a 6. Now, you could. I don't know if you have a bond with her. You could spend that to bump it up.
She
to
has
a 7.
a bond with me. I don't have a bond with her.
Or a Kaijin, if you want to support, to assist her, you could do that.
Him.
Sorry.
Yeah, just running out of available stats over here. I guess I want to save water. Yeah, I think having double failure on a table is better than single failure on a table. So I'm actually helping by being focused on the task, trying not to think about what I just promised my brother, trying not to think about all the arranged marriages and stuff, and I'm trying to just like keep my focus on finding my one true love, who might be in like super dangerous situation over here.
Perfect.
It's like helping with -1. Not sure.
Okay.
Wait, your water is -1 or?
No, I'm saving water for whatever.
Oh, Earth. Okay.
Yeah, I'm helping with Earth.
All right.
Yeah, like I said, having 2 fails on a table is better than 1.
All right. So, you two will maybe you've seen Renshu in a particular part of town, and you kind of follow back, and you will find, just as Renshu is coming out with the paper sword, Renshu, you see there Danyu and Kaijin, and they're clearly looking for you.
Anything else? Or
and then you hear, "I knew you would lead us to her." And you will see these Ox Pilgrim members kind of fall out, into the thing, and there is a large group of Ox Pilgrim soldiers, as well as Steel Viper, who has his blade drawn and says, "It's time for this criminal to be purged from our ranks."
You zealot! You have been after me this whole time. You would go to any lengths to prove your righteousness over the world. Is this the sort of righteousness that you want to bring?
Hold on. This has been a misunderstanding. Ren has not killed Ming. This was someone else has, and he's trying to frame her. Metal Viper, you should know better than this.
Of course he knows better. He's the one that set this all up, I say, pointing my sword at him.
And I think with the double failure, you try to kind of bring some sense there, Danyu.
All right.
And then Ren accuses him. And I think at that point, all hell will break loose.
All right.
So I think our lead character here is actually going to be Ren in this scene to deal with Viper. But let's talk with Kai Jin and Dan Yu. There's a whole horde of mooks here and people coming in trying to get at her.
I will Legend of the Mountain Renshu. I will try to protect her because she has not done what they think has been done.
Perfect. So
I don't actually believe that Metal Viper is the one who killed without like I have no evidence either.
Sure.
Way, so.
So what we'll do is we're going to put your move. We're going to put a pin in that in case she has to take some consequence or from the duel. So Kai Jin, that leaves you to deal with these troops.
Yeah, I totally wanted to study Metal Viper, but I see I have no time. We just see a pair of nunchakos coming from my sleeves, and I just stand in between the large group, the Metal Viper, and the duel going on, and I'm just I'm trying to talk them down, stay where you are. Let's talk this out, and they just keep attacking, and I'm just holding them at bay. Not killing anyone. That's why I'm fighting with a nunchako.
Perfect.
Just bashing some skulls. There will be some broken bones after this because hitting from nunchako is hard, but they will mostly survive.
All right. So go ahead and roll to fight the mooks as they swarm on you. They're trying to running at you. Swords are upraised. They come at you one at a time and then in groups.
Yeah. Reroll selected.
It's got the yellow uniforms of the Ox Pilgrim Escort Bureau. They got the little hats on.
It seems I got the same roll as before, so it's a 7 + 2. It's 9.
That's a 9. Okay. So on a hit, you defeat them. You don't do it easily. So what is it that's kind of a challenge here? What that makes this more difficult than you wanted it to be?
I'm thinking. I think the sheer number of them is the problem, because it's easy to just fight and move about, but I can't leave the spot. I can't make them through. So I'm kind of pinned down to the spot in between the duel and the mooks, and this makes it a really difficult position because I can't let anyone. So as two of them are attacking me, I see 2 other moving on the side flanking, trying to get to the duel. I have to leave them. We see a mighty jump, a 50-meter jump, deal with the 2 on the side, then come back.
Perfect. And you also, you don't want to kill them. So numbers, and so that's going on. People are flying back. We're getting lots of cuts of that, the sound all through that as Viper draws out and prepares to engage you, Ren. I'm going to cut from you, though. Janai, yeah, you can find that door.
Excellent. And is this the same house where they're fighting on top of?
No, they're outside. They're back at the another part of town.
Okay. All right. So I've found the door. I suppose the only thing I can do is, and go and look in. I want to listen in. So
Okay. Let's have you let's see. I think that's going to be I think this is actually going to be overcome here.
Muted.
Awesome. So sorry. Just
Okay.
looking to see what I have available to me here. Okay. Sorry, that Google sheet is really slow and weird. It keeps popping down in different places. Okay, there's my stats. Okay, so I'm going to try this with metal. That's control, solidity, essentially being very careful in here. Okay, I got a 10, so plus 11. So.
But my brother. Listen. You are heir now to our house. We will not have our dirty laundry raised out in public. If you want to keep your position, if you want to keep drinking, if you want anything more in this world, then you will retain your silence. I dealt with your brother. I can deal with you as well. Yes, Father, I understand. I will be quiet. But I think that the woman, Janai, I think she knows something. Then I will deal with her. Once Ren is dead, there will be no further questions. If we have to kill all of her friends, so be it. Does that seem like good info?
Yeah.
All right, then. Metal Viper comes forward at you. And you're kind of expecting his maneuver kind of goes slow and down, but he changes his stance and comes at you differently. He's clearly trained since the last time you fought him. He is clearly of your scale.
That's good because I want to just lay into someone right now.
All right. So he is your scale. Go ahead and roll your style element.
So yeah, I think as he comes in, he gets a blow and he knocks me down to the ground, and I stand up, just wiping sort of blood from my mouth and smiling, and the glasses that I'm wearing, they're still there, and they're catching sort of torchlight at this point. They're completely opaque and reflective, and I think that like translucent veil shell sort of robe she had on around her is like tattered and ripped at this point and sort of fluttering around, and she'll just scream between her teeth and come in with the sword in quick slashes at either side of him.
All right, let's see it.
And this is such a great situation because I honestly don't know if I want to succeed or fail. That's a 7.
Okay, you get to choose one. Win at a cost, deadlock, narrate how you lost, and mark XP.
I am going to narrate how I lose.
Okay, your anger gives you away, Renshu. And then we're gonna have Danyu step in. Oh, does that seem cool?
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I come in at him, he's gloating, and that just drives me further. I think I disregard all of my control and all of my giving up of my past life, and the true sort of semi-mystical assassin fury comes out. I go into just this spinning cloud around him as I'm just whirling and dervishing and hit him from multiple angles and cut him across the arm and the chest. And as he falls back and I sort of have the sword raised to come in at him, it's there by my head and I see the blood staining along the paper. And it all just, like, it breaks. It falls apart. The sword falls into pieces as she lets it go. The anger dies out of her eyes, and she just, tears streaming down her face, falls down to her knees, like head bowed down, and says she was supposed to live a new life. She was supposed to prove that I could live a new life, but nothing is new. It's all old. It's all dead, and nothing is worth fighting for anymore.
And of course he goes to finish you. And Dine you. Do you want to do this as to defend, to take care of that, or do you want to?
That is a 6. I can't really use a bond.
Do you have a bond with anybody here? Do you have a bond with the Ox Pilgrim?
No.
Ooh. So I think that you are going to have to mark wounded to take that blow.
Yes. So yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. And I believe you actually can take wounded twice.
Yeah, I can take wounded twice.
Okay. So we can roll from that into, if you want to, you have a choice now. You could try to get Ren and get away.
All right.
Or you could stay here and engage Viper in a duel.
I will. Well, first I will say Metal Viper. What? Why didn't you not? If you may not take her word for granted, or you may not believe her word, but at least believe mine.
You have been beguiled by her.
If that is what you believe, then I will. Then I will see to it that you understand the truth, and I draw my blade.
Okay.
And engage.
All right. So let's have you roll your duel.
All right. Would he still? Well, yeah, he won, so he is still.
He is on your scale right now.
Yeah. Okay. And then that is a 11.
Okay. So you come in at him. You're still wounded, and he thought that you would go down with that blow, and you should have. Yeah. Any other person would have fallen, and you stayed up. Here's a question.
Yes.
Do you want to finish him, or do you want to show mercy?
Show mercy, obviously.
Okay.
I will show. Like, the intent wasn't to kill him; it was just to teach him a lesson.
Okay. And how do you do that? What is the thing that you do? Do you disarm him? Do you wound him? What happens there?
I disarm him, like, as I'm doing my what did I name it? My Seeking Pilgrim style. He goes for a blow, and then I cut his hand, and just a flesh wound, but still enough to disarm him and send his sword flying.
Falls back. And he falls back. Of course, he knows that he's beaten. The mooks are kind of cleared. If you want, you three can get away.
So I will look at Metal Viper and say, remember this duel when you next fight Renshu.
I will not forget this.
Good. And so I will show him mercy, and I guess mark XP for that.
Mark XP. So Danyu has done that. Kai Jin, it looks like you kind of driven back the mooks. Viper has been pushed back. Red is kind of collapsed on the ground. And Dainyu is bleeding. What do you do, Kaijin?
So Ren is like defeated, unconscious. Yes.
So yeah, they're all pushed back.
Yeah, Ren's not unconscious. She's just like crying on the ground in sort of a heap.
Yeah, I suppose as I push the mooks back. Man, I really want to engage Bladeheart move. They also want to just take Ren and run away from here.
I love the idea of the Bladeheart move.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, I suppose as he's lying on the floor, I just like sit just next to him, and I'm just like eyeing him, eyeing the mooks. Mooks are afraid to approach, and I just say, "You see, Mental Viper, you were here before us." And like, can I gouge this because I see like the dead body of Dragon Nail Sage, or can't I actually say it?
Sure. No, that seems appropriate for the fiction, since you're right by the house where she died.
Yeah, it seems to me you were here before we were, and it seems to me you already murdered someone. I think there was enough murdering over here. You should consider who do you serve, because the person you serve obviously wants to frame Renshu because you knew where to find her. Just the question is, who told you, and what is their agenda toward the Ox Pilgrim Escort Society?
Let's have you roll.
Yeah, I think I'm throwing some wisdom at him. So I'm going to go in with water. It's 8. Wow, it's 10.
10.
So when I attempt to change the reality of purpose of a worthy agent of a villain on a 10+, my words reach them. They will act to aid you right now. Depending on the situation, they may come with you or face their master or flee. Go face their master or flee.
I think that he will say, "We followed you." But you see him hesitate, like something else occurs to him. Like he maybe realizes and puts 2 and 2 together. And he kind of pushes himself up against raises himself up, and you see that doubt. You can see him, something is clicking for him, and he takes off, and the mooks go running. And it's at that point that Janai pops up.
Hi.
You were supposed to be in safety.
What? And she goes, I know who killed him. I know who killed Ming. It was his father. It was his.
Wait, what?
And I said,
What?
And that's the end of the session line right there. Okay, so we're gonna cut at that point with that revelation on the table. Let's do our. We've got some end of session things.
Holy fuck, that was awesome.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. So, Sherry, did we hit your highlighted entanglement?
Yes, we did.
Okay. What other entanglements did we hit?
Well, let's see here. The Sui. Su Wei.
Yeah.
Sorry. That essentially he definitely caught on to me, and
Okay.
and then let's see here, and I suppose Metal Viper showed up again, but I didn't have a chance to say no, not Ren.
True.
So not that, but I definitely the main one, and then another one.
That's going to be 4 points then.
I will take those 4 happily. Thank you.
Okay.
And
Yep.
wait, do we also get the one from participating?
Yes, you also get one for the participation.
Ooh.
Okay, cool. So I am now at 7 by default, and then I will go.
So let's talk to you. So did you hit your highlighted entanglement, Maria?
Yes.
Okay.
And then a bit of, I guess, a bit of the other two as well.
Okay. Okay.
So-
What were the other two then?
I swore Fenai to protect Zenai.
Okay.
And she would be deeply offended if she knew.
Yeah.
And then I love Zenai, but they are engaged to Kaijin.
Oh yeah, we had a nice roll on that one. So yeah, I'll give you the 5 on that.
All right, so 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 minus 8 is how much?
4.
Or-
All right, so I have an advancement. How does that work?
You can add 1 to one of your chi. You can take a new move from your playbook. You can take a new move from another playbook, or you can create a custom move from your martial style.
All right.
You can think about that between now. And then Ren Shu.
So let's see. I think we may have hit the Dragon Nail Sage entanglement a little bit.
Yep.
A lot, all the time. Let's see. The Metal Viper and Genai Love, I think we hit both of those at different times. We started off with the engagement sort of hitting the Genai end, and obviously ended up with Metal Viper. And we had that the thing from Dragon Nail Sage about my family, my mother. God damn it, that line about my mother. Fuck you, lol. No, that was really good.
Yeah, so that's 5 plus 1 for participation is 6 there.
All right, that puts me
I
at
like
12
Flying
too.
Dagger, so I will take that one.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yes.
And I know exactly what I'm gonna take, because it was one I chose not to take at character creation. I was like, I'll get that with my first level up, and then I could have used it all session.
Which one is that?
The promise. If you attempt to keep someone from dying in your presence.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm definitely gonna take that.
Yeah, that's a good game changer. That's a drama changer right there.
By the
What?
way, Renshu
yeah.
Renshu, you can burn a bond with me to your bond with me, so I can appear next to you. Just saying.
Yeah, that's
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's a great move. And what about Kaijin?
I think I definitely interacted with my brother in a very significant way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think I didn't. I interacted with Zenai in a significant way, but not about my entanglement. And I love Renshu.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
definite on that one. I think that
Yeah.
you were pushing on that. So I think that's 4 points plus 1 for participation is 5.
Yeah. Is this one for participation written somewhere in the rules?
No, I mentioned it last time, and I need to put it in the rules.
Okay.
It's mostly to kind of increase advancement because we're playing just 4 sessions.
Oh, okay. I thought that you want to make it like a standard.
I haven't decided yet. I might. We'll talk about that.
I love Zenai's new move. Just the name.
Come drink
It's
with me,
Seems appropriate, yes.
It's very appropriate.
Now, I understand you're not with us next time, Pavel, right? But you're back for
Yes.
session 4?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna be here in session 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get
Oh,
you to a good final place there. Of course, we've got something to draw you away that we can come to, depending on how things play out. If you guys don't mind, I know we're running kind of tight against the time that I promised. Would you guys mind doing Roses and Thorns?
I don't mind.
Totally.
So I'd like to do Thorns. I usually start that. So as you guys pointed out at the beginning, there are a couple of these moves, since these are all very rough draft, that I really need to go back to clarify. I need to clarify how misunderstandings works. I need to make sure that Heedless is written the way I want it to. And we've got a couple others where I need to go back and do them because they are a little rougher than I want them to be. And I appreciate you guys asking questions about those. So that would be my thorn right now about the system. Patrick, what about you? Thorns?
I'll agree on that. I would have loved to see heedless or misunderstandings, and maybe they just need to have their triggers massaged a little bit so that they're a little more open to different types of situations.
Okay.
But I think they're both super cool moves. I don't want to see them. And I know there are moves for it, but we don't get to moves are a little slower and more in between the fiction in this game. So I think if there could be increased play with bonds and conditions, that would be actually
an
pretty
easier
cool.
way to get those on the table.
Yeah. Honestly, I spent half of the session rolling my water, just hoping that it would fail, and I could put a condition in my water and then not to be able to fight, because I thought that was a cool fictional sequence. And if there were more ways for conditions to be thrown out, then we'd have to find more scenes to fix them in. And if there are more ways for bonds to go out, then we would have more bond play.
Okay. Oh, that's a really interesting piece of feedback that helps me for thinking about this. Pavel, Thorns?
So just to clarify, is there even a move that gives you a bond? Because I know you gave some people a bond, but this was like a GM giveaway, I think.
Yeah, I thought
a couple.
There's under comfort and support on a 10+, you can gain a bond.
There's also Hearts and Minds and Impress.
And Legend of the Mountain gave me a bond with Zhang last session, so
yeah. So there are some moves that do that. Under Hearts and Minds, that was the choice that I made for Zheng.
Yeah.
The bond there.
Yeah. So Thorns from me. I believe study should be a little bit more clarified, because the way it is now is basically ask whatever question you want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if this is intended.
However, actually, that is very much an intention on my part, and it plays more into the way that I run. So yeah, I can see where that could be a problem, and it might require having an alternate version that provides the questions or some examples.
Yeah, it's up to you. I know that other games like to list of questions. It's also cool to be able to phrase your own question. But I think you can leave it for if you plan on doing advanced basic moves like some games do. Then on a 12+, you can ask whatever you want, but on a lower, you have to confine yourself to a list. And honestly, I find this option of Hearts and Minds, they reveal themselves, you ask 2 questions of them. I completely don't get it. So on a 10+, they bow your words and do what you want. But on a 7 to 9, they reveal themselves. You can ask the questions. I just don't understand.
Well, that was the thing. Is you didn't get all that you wanted. You didn't get your brother to, essentially come over to your side fully.
I wasn't even expecting that this will happen on a 10+. So I'm not sure if this was even on a table. I was merely expecting for him to reveal some information. So maybe
so that may be more of a question about the framing of that maybe, if it was more of a pierce the mask kind of thing, or read a person, who probably should have used study rather than Hearts and Minds, because your intent was less manipulation or changing the state on him and more getting information about what was going on.
Yes.
I think in the end we got the same kind of result, but that's a good question and a good point.
Yeah. So I guess that's okay. That's the only thing I had.
Maria, Thorns?
I have to disagree with part of what Patrick said. I think there are enough ways of getting conditions on the table just by missing. However, I will agree that bonds, we should touch on bonds more.
Yeah, we got some ways to get them, but I need to remind. I need to get in the habit of calling those out. And okay, that's a good point.
All right.
Sherry, any Thorns?
No, except that I can't be in every scene having a commentary. That is the saddest thing for me. I actually there's so many interactions and the entanglements are so good that I do really feel like I'm in the mode of and then so is that a thorn? I think it is. I don't know if it's a personal thorn because I have no resolve or restraint. But I have. It's been a long time since I've been in a game where I literally want to shove myself into every scene.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That is a good point. Let me talk roses here. God damn it! Every single one of you had a scene that I loved. That I could see it on screen. The fight with Kai Jin and his brother. The death of the guy in the temple.
The other death.
The other death. Coming down to the ground with the body, and then trying to advocate for Ren, even though you kind of don't trust her, and Zenai sneaking around. Oh, so good.
I know, right?
Oh man, such good scenes, and that's not even counting last time. There were everybody had scenes that really told me something about their character and really felt appropriate to the genre. So that's my rose on that. Patrick, roses?
This was so amazing. I love this game. I love the moves. I love how the setup is working. This session was, oh my god, this session was amazing. I hate you and love you, lol, for that Dragon Nail Sage scene. It was so amazing. And like I love this group. I loved last session interacting with Genai and sort of bouncing off of Sherry with all these subtle little emotional moments. And then I also liked how in this one, even though I like rejected her at the beginning and was avoiding her almost through the session, we still had these sort of like long distance playoff moments. But this session, damn, Maria, like Dan Yu was awesome for me.
Thank you.
I loved how like complicated and nuanced his approach to Renshu was. Like, it wasn't just I believe this or I believe totally in you. It was this sort of waffling back and forth, but not willing to commit to permanent methods until you absolutely know something. It was really great, and I think it was very shocking for Ren to get in the situation where obviously Dan Yu is going to come in and blame me, and Dan Yu is giving me the benefit of the doubt. Like, that really moved her in that. This was so good. This was good so good.
Pavel?
Regarding the system, I really like the way entanglements work. I think they are much better than bonds from other games. They are so complicated that I believe all of them should be like a one paragraph of text to include all the side information. And this person is from this clan, and this person is from this clan. So this means that this situation is so complicated because of this clan. And I really like how it played out. Regarding you guys, this session was both sessions were really good. I had a lot of fun. The characters were emotional. We had some emotional scenes. We had some we had some fighting. I felt like a good wuxia movie. These conflicts, family conflicts, and duty conflicts. It was really good. And
awesome.
Yeah, the stats. It's cool to be able to choose your own stat and like put it on a risk. I'm still like a little bit confused about the system, but I think it's an interesting approach.
Oh yeah, there's some things. Yeah, it's stealing from a lot of places, half-assed. But and I want to say, if anyone's watching at home, if they've watched to this point, that idea of doing the entanglements as a triangle. I got that from listening to the Jianghu Hustle podcast because they were talking about all the relationships in the movies as being triangles, and I think that's very cool.
Yeah, now that you mentioned this, I forgot. I reminded myself that I had something to say about entanglements. Even though I really like them, I think maybe you should somehow give more information about how to make them. So you wrote that one of them should be a romantic one,
right?
But I think it should be better classified, like, because how much of them should be about PC to PC relationship, and how much so like have at least one on PC relationship and one which includes some NPC problems. I think it would
that's a good thing to think about for future. I like that, and actually it's something that Sherry poked me on after the session last time. So that's good to get two people saying that.
Yeah, because we as players of PBTA like to use those things to include ourselves, but it would be like good idea to like just have one with your own problem with NPC, so that you can have some front threats looming.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maria, Roses?
I want to steal this system and use it for other games.
There's a lot of good stuff here, I think.
Yeah. And it's like, this is pretty much the closest thing to a Godbound PBTA so far, so I am going to steal it. Probably.
Feel free to do
maybe.
that. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you could easily rework it.
Yeah.
Sherry, I'm going to give you last word.
Well, thank you. So I say, when I came into the game, I was a little uncertain with the entanglements because I'm used to, in some ways, those things being static. But it's super clear that these things are changing speed of light, just like they do in a wushu movie. And so this is going to be super fun because essentially we're going to be ricocheting all over the place throughout these episodes. And I'm really looking forward to that. Because let's put it this way, things changed rapidly for Janai this evening. So.
Absolutely.
And now she feels very embarrassed that she called your brother a villain.
Right. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast.